Deal is a really good, simple, easy to understand trade, and that is the divergence trade. Okay, so let's get started. I am going to do a very simple synopsis in this video. This is a divergence trade that I will sometimes look for. Keep in mind, this is a counter trend trade. So with a counter trend trade, you have to remember the odds are against you even before you step into the trade. So you want to make sure that if you're taking the trade, that you have a lot of different things lining up. All right, this here on the left, we are looking at oil. This is a CFD here for oil. And if you are not able to trade CFDs because you have a US account, just go get a demo account. And the reason is because the MT4s are really easy to use system to trade Forex, and you can put in a demo account, let's say, because it's a broker that's not located in the United States, you can download a demo and have the CFD of oil right next to the dollar Canadian, which moves with oil. You can also do this in a futures account. You can have two separate monitors. That's fine. So what I do is I place my trade in my USA Forex account separately, but I'd like to see and use this CFD trading account here to just kind of compare the two side by side in the same software. In this case, it's MT4. On the left, we have oil on the 5-minute chart. Now let's jump up to a much higher time frame. Now you will see that we have reached a point on oil where we are at a very solid support level. Have a look here. I drew it in the red, and that is right around this area at 59.25 or 59, give or take. Not only have we reached a support level, we are also at a point here where it may bounce based upon trendline support. So right there, two criteria for a possible reversal. And now we're going to dig a little bit deeper to see what may also contribute to the reversal here. Well, we have momentum indicators showing some divergence here. We'll have to give it a little bit more time. Now we jump to the 5-minute chart on the dollar Canadian. What is this telling us? Well, we're also seeing divergence here. All right. In this case, it's called bearish divergence, and the bearish divergence tells us that we may have a change in the trend. If we do get a change in the trend, where are we going to take profits? Well, that right there becomes a question based on an individual scenario basis. Hard to really say. What you want to do is look for the clues. Now, if you don't want to do a counter trend trade, you can utilize a simple strategy such as this to use your counter trend trade philosophy, your trend trade philosophy, and just use this to get out of that trend trade. But that does not mean that you have to go in the opposite direction. Now, I took a short 125.11, and you can see that little dotted line there is showing my entry. And I took this again based on what oil is doing, and also based on the Canadian. Now, in a best case scenario, now I'm talking targets here. In a best case scenario, 124.70 area right here would be nice. That's best case scenario. And I would say if it starts to work, we should see about 124.90 at the least for this trade. So I'm getting into this trade with the thought process that, hey, if it works, we should at least get 30, but we may get 50 pips. Worst case scenario, it continues to trend higher and takes us out of our stop, which should be at least 25 to 30 pips above. Risk reward ratio, not too good. So what we're going to do is rely on the percent of this trade working. And in my opinion, I think we have, let's say, a 70% chance that this works out. So even though the risk-reward ratio is not a good one, it makes up for it based on the fact that the trade in general, I feel, has a higher percent of working out. So these are some thoughts. All right, so I fast forwarded just a little bit just to kind of show you the way this trade has played out. Now, normally I would leave it alone and let it just do its thing, but because the market has closed, it's 4:14 p.m. here, Eastern Standard, I just took my 10 pips off, and that was that. But this here is a great indicator of a temporary trend possibly ending, or even a counter trend trade. This here is called OSMA. It's available on the MT4. You're just going to go ahead, insert indicators, custom, and then you scroll down to OSMA. You click that, and that will appear on the chart. Really easy to use, and I hope this helped in just kind of getting some sort of an idea of how to use the OSMA for counter trend trades and also ending of trend trades. Take care, everybody, and have a good one.